Some wonderful questions, by the way. I really appreciate the questions. Very good. In our next break, I'm going to go that side to the guys over there in the middle, so they don't get a chance. Inshallah. Is that fireworks? I thought you locked someone in that door and he's really angry. Hey, while he's setting up the recording, I'll tell you a funny story. So I went to Dubai for the Peace Conference, and I was having lunch with Dr. Zakir Naik at a restaurant. And we're both, we're having lunch talking, and two brothers see us from a distance. They're like, oh! And they come running over. And they say, Assalamu alaikum to Dr. Zakir Naik. How are you, Sheikh? How are you? It's so wonderful to see you. And then they turn to me and say, hey, man, can you take a picture for us? I said, okay. So I took a picture for them. That was awesome. Anyway, where were we before the fireworks? How far did we get? IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM. IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM is describing the road itself. It is heading upwards. It is a difficult journey. And I told you it leads away from dunya. Now what does that mean? I need the Muslims to understand, myself to understand, you to understand. What does it mean to leave dunya? It does not mean to not do hard work and not succeed and not have the most successful organizations and businesses and governments and cities and economies in the world. It does not mean any of that. What it means is dunya is in your hands and it's not in your heart. Dunya is in your hands and not in your heart. Allah did not want us to abandon dunya. He does not want us to not build this world and not make better countries and better cities and better economies and get better jobs. That is not true. Allah says, وَاسْتَعْمَرَكُمْ فِيهَا. He wanted you to build this world. He wanted you to establish and build and develop. He wants that for this earth. But He just doesn't want you to think that this is the final home. He wants you to work and succeed in this world, but understand that true success is in the akhirah. And you're above it all the time. You know, there are people who only live for this dunya. They only live for one promotion, next promotion, next promotion. More money, then more money, then more money, then more money. Their entire life becomes about money. And they used to work 40 hours in a week to earn money. Now they make 50 times more money and they work 100 hours a week. And they used to think to themselves, when I make more money, I'll have a break. But what happened? When they made more money, now they have no break. It's more work than ever before. This is not what Allah wants from you. This is not what Allah wants from you. You can enjoy this dunya. وَجَعَلْنَا لَكُمْ فِيهَا مَعَايِشْ. He put things in this world for you so you can enjoy your life. Live well. He said that Himself. But if you forget why you're really here, He gave you these luxuries, these amenities, so that you have a convenient life, so you have no excuse not to worship Him, not to be excellent towards Him. This is what it means to rise above dunya. The dunya is not something you're hung up on. If it's there, alhamdulillah. If it's not there, alhamdulillah. You're okay either way. You understand? So now this is the IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM. The next challenge, wow. How long does it last? 15 minutes? MashaAllah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Alright. SIRATAL-LEDHINE أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. This ayah is actually about, not the road, but the people on the road. It's not about the road, it is about the people on the road. And here again, I want you to listen carefully to a silly example. If you go to a college, a university, and you're studying engineering, do you get advice from the student who is in the same class as you? Or do you get advice from the student who already graduated and has a job? You get advice from the one who already graduated. The guy who's sitting next to you in class knows as much as you. You don't know, he doesn't know what's right and wrong. The guy who already finished college, he already got a job, he already knows what the economy is like, what this major is like, which courses are the most important. That's the guy who already finished. This is why the ayah says, Ya Allah, show me the path of those أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ, the one you facilitated, you made ease for, you gave favor to, you showered with luxury and ease and relaxation. This is important to mention because all of it is mentioned in the past tense. أنعمت عليهم الفعل الماضي. Not SIRATAL-LEDHINE تُنْعِمُ عَلَيْهِمْ. No, not the path of those who you favored. No, the path of those who you favored. Because we don't want to know from current students, we want to know from the graduates. When we ask Allah for this, then we know that our role models, the people we look up to, the people we trust and we rely on, they are not the people who are necessarily alive now. Who are they? Our real heroes? The people of the past. And the greatest heroes, the ones that Allah made a part of His book. They were so wonderful that Allah made them a part of His Quran so He can guide you and me. So every story of the Prophet, every mention of good people in the Quran, every legacy of the past that Allah describes in the Quran is an answer to a dua, SIRATAL-LEDHINE أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. It's the answer to that dua. I didn't get to tell you about the emotion of ihdina. I should tell you that briefly. So I asked for some water. But I wasn't dying. I was okay. If they bring me water, good. If they don't bring me water, I'll keep talking, no problem. But if I was dying of thirst, would I ask differently? Right now I say, hey, can you give me some water? That's fine. If I was dying of thirst, I would take this thing off. Please give me some water. I would be desperate. If you really need something, then you become desperate. If you don't really need something, you ask for it, but you're like, no, water. Now when you recite Fatiha and I recite Fatiha, and we get to IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM, how do we ask? If you get time, you know. Or do we ask like we're desperate, like we're dying, like we can't do without it, like we absolutely need it? And by the way, Allah said, we ask ourselves, show us the path of those who you favored. And where do we get the answer to that? In the other surahs of the Quran. Which means by reciting Fatiha, you are asking Allah, Ya Allah, give me the answer, and He gave you the answer in the rest of the Quran. So your dua has already been answered in the fact that the Quran was revealed. Which means if you don't recite the Quran, you don't really mean what you're saying in the Fatiha. You asked Allah and He gave, and you don't take advantage of it. You asked for water and the water was provided, and now you're not drinking it. What's your problem? Now you only have yourself to blame, nobody else. This is IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM, SIRATAL-LEDHINE أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. And even in the words أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ, it's so beautiful that Allah mentioned Himself, right? We said, you made it easy for them. You made luxury for them. An'amta comes from the word nu'uma. Nu'uma in Arabic means softness and ease. That is why cows are called an'am. Cattle are called an'am. Why? Because they move how? Softly. They're slow. They're not like a cat that moves fast. You know, or a lion that moves fast. An'am, they're chilling out. They're just hanging out, taking it easy. And Allah is describing to us that there are people of the past, Allah made ease for them. Ya Allah, put me on the same path of those who you made ease for. Because they could not have done it themselves. You must have made things easy for them. So if you put me on that path, that means I cannot do this myself. You will make things easy for me too. That's the idea of ENEAMTE alayhim. Now in this, as we switch over to the last part, غَيْرِ الْمَغْدُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا-دَالِينَ. When we go to this part, that is really interesting. Is used, it comes from taghayyur, which means different. And ghayr means I want to be nothing like these people. Whoever is about to be described, I want to be nothing like them. Al-Maghdubi alayhim, few things I want you to note about them. The first thing is, how is it translated? Al-Maghdubi alayhim, how is it translated? You know? Not of those who... Anybody heard of it? Not of those who earned your anger. You've heard that before? Or not of those who earned your wrath. The problem is, the word your is not there. The word your, when we translate, not of those who earned your anger. And what do we mean by your anger? Whose anger? Allah's anger. Allah is not mentioned. Allah does not say in the ayah any mention of Himself. It just says, al-Maghdubi alayhim, those who were recipients, those who received anger. Those who received wrath. That's what's mentioned. The other interesting thing here is, when you look for role models and you look for good examples, do you look in the present or the past? You look in the past, because the past tense was used. But when Allah talks about the people who receive wrath, who receive rage, Allah used a noun. Oh my God, what's a noun? It's permanent, isn't it? Which means you will find the people who receive anger in the past, you will also find them in the present, and you will also find them in the future, and you might become one of them. So you have to ask Allah, Ya Allah, don't make me from them, because I know they're always there, and I might become from them. You cannot ask Allah, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, without knowing that you might be in danger of becoming them. If you're not in danger, you wouldn't ask. You wouldn't ask. So we are in danger of becoming what? Al-Maghdub alayhim. What else are we in danger of becoming? Let me describe Al-Maghdub alayhim a little more to you. A few more things you have to understand about Al-Maghdub alayhim. When I say, I am angry with you, who's angry? I am angry. If I say, I helped you, who helped? I did. When I say you were helped, you were helped. Who helped you? Do you know who? No. The word maghdub is passive. What that means is they are receiving wrath. They are receiving wrath, but Allah does not say what? Whose anger? Whose wrath? Who's angry at them? Allah did not mention. Why is that? There are a couple of reasons. Reason number one, there are too many of them. Allah is angry at them. The angels are angry at them. Their own followers are angry at them. Their families are angry at them. The believers are angry at them. The disbelievers in Judgment Day are angry at them. The people in Jahannam who are already there are angry at the people who are coming in. La marhaban bihim. There's anger, 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 anger. Ya Allah, don't make me from the people who they get anger from every side. They get it from you and they get it from all of your creation. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ لَعَنَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَعَنَهُمُ اللَّاعِنُونَ اللَّهُمَّ لَا تَجْعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ. Those are people Allah cursed, and Allah created angels only for the job of cursing them. Al-Maghdubi alayhim is not limited. The other amazing thing here is Allah is so angry with them, He doesn't even mention the extent of Allah's anger with them. They received rage. Then the last one is the lost. Al-Dalin. I don't say those who were misguided. That's incorrect. The lost. The lost. And I want you to understand the difference between those who receive anger and the lost. What is the practical difference? I don't want to give you a complex explanation. This session tonight is to give you an easy explanation, inshallah. Something you can remember. So I have two sons, Walid and Imad. Imad is older, Walid is younger. I go outside for 5 minutes. Son, I'm going to fix my car. I'll be back in 5 minutes. There is some chocolate on the table. Don't eat it. I tell Imad, don't eat the chocolate. Walid is upstairs. Walid didn't hear me. 5 minutes later, I come back. Imad and Walid are sitting together on the couch. And what's happening? They're both eating chocolate. Who should I be angry at? Should I be angry at Imad, who I told, or should I be angry at Walid? I tell Imad, he says, oh yeah, sorry. Didn't you know? Yes, I knew. Didn't I tell you? Yes, you told me. Why did you eat it then? I don't know, it's really delicious. And then Walid says, I had no idea, I was confused. What I'm trying to tell you is, Al-Maghdub alayhim are people who do the wrong thing even when they know. Someone who knows and still does the wrong thing, it is logical that you would be angry at them. If I'm a teacher and I give you the exam the day before, here's the exam, here's the answer key, please get 100 tomorrow, and you still fail the exam, then wallahi, I mean, come on, I'm going to be angry. But if a student who never came to class has missed all the lessons, he takes the exam and he gets a 0, he can say, I was lost. Confused, you understand? There's a difference between the one who gets anger and the one who is lost. The one who gets anger has knowledge. The one who is lost has no knowledge. That's why he's lost. If you knew where to go, you would not be lost. You understand? So now on the one hand, we are asking Allah, Ya Allah, give us knowledge, but make sure that we don't become the people who have knowledge and they still don't act. And on the other hand, we're asking Allah, Ya Allah, don't make us people that are ignorant who have no knowledge. So we ask for action in al-MAGDUBI alayhim and we ask for knowledge in al-DALIN. It's beautiful. Our entire religion is knowledge and action. That's all it is, our entire religion. And that's in al-MAGDUBI alayhim wa al-DALIN. You understand these two things now? Now, I want to take you back to the top. We'll show you some things. Please, I know it's hot, it's long night, it's very hot. I don't know, maybe it's not hot for you people. Is it hot for you people? Are you used to this already? I don't know. Maybe I'm melting because I'm from the United States or something. But no, I think it's hot for all of us. But I'm begging you, just pay extra attention to this part. You'll appreciate it. You will appreciate it. I told you this surah is a surah of balance. This is a surah of balance. I want to show you lots of ways in which this is a surah of balance. Let's begin. The first part of this surah, Allah Azza wa Jalla described, it was about Himself. It's about Allah. The first part of the surah is about Allah. Which part? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. That part is about Allah. The last part of this surah is about us. IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM, SIRATAL-LEDHINE أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. All of it is what? About, we are asking Allah. We are asking Allah. In the first part, Allah is talking to us. In the last part, we are talking to Allah. Okay. In the first part, Allah is telling us what He wants us to know. In the last part, we are asking Allah what we need from Him. You understand? But what about the middle? The middle, the first part is for Allah, and the last part is for yourself. You see how it's balanced? Part 1 is about Allah, part 3 is about us, the middle part, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, is about Allah and us, subhanallah. Subhanallah. And the hadith says, the hadith Qudsi says about that ayah, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ هَذَا مَا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ عَبْدِي. This is between me and my slave. It's right in between. That's the first balance. The second balance I want to share with you is there's a balance between the rahmah of Allah, the loving care of Allah, and the justice of Allah. Those two are balanced. The third balance I just told you about recently was you ask Allah, but you also make you ask Allah for help, but you also make the effort yourself. You have to have both. Those are balanced inside the word. إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You remember that balance? That's another example of balance. Then you have towards the end, two kinds of, Allah actually asked us, He literally told us to walk on the straight path, which is an example of balance itself. A path cannot be straight up until it is perfectly balanced. When you want to put the beam up in a building and it's mustaqim, that means it's perfectly straight, perfectly balanced. Do you understand? So even the imagery is that of balance. Now things get complicated. Pay attention. There are two kinds of sentences in Arabic. Noun sentences and verb sentences. I'll say that again. Two kinds of sentences. You tell me now. Noun sentences and verb sentences. Noun sentences describe something more permanent. Verb sentences describe something more temporary. Okay. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin is a noun sentence. That is a noun sentence. IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM SIRATAL-LEDHINE أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. All of it is a verb sentence. So part 1 is noun, part 3 is what? Verb. What about the middle part? The middle part is verb, but it still begins with a noun, which means it's a mixture of both. Iyaka is a noun, even though the central verb is na'budu. So what I'm trying to tell you is the first part linguistically is a noun sentence, the last part is a verb sentence, and the middle part is a mixed sentence. Now what do you know about nouns? Permanent or temporary? Permanent. The noun sentences were section what? 1, 2, or 3? 1. And section 1 is about who? Allah. So it's only appropriate that the noun sentences be used because Allah is permanent. The last sentence, the last section is what kind of sentence? Verb sentence. And verbs are what? Temporary. It is only appropriate that verbs be used for human beings because human beings are temporary. The middle ayah is an agreement between us and Allah. Part of it is for Allah, part of it is for ourselves. It is only perfect that it should be a mixture of noun and verb sentence. Linguistically, it is a marvel. It is incredible. Human beings can't speak like this. It's impossible. Nominal sentences, verbal sentences, jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya, and then a mixture of both of them. I studied that for the first time. I said, forget it. This is, come on. Who says this is not the word of Allah? How dumb can you get? You know? Now let's go even a step further. I want to show you another balance. It's beautiful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. All of that is knowledge. Knowledge about who? Knowledge about Allah. Part 1, section 1 is what? Knowledge. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'inu. We are enslaving ourselves to you. We are asking for your help. These are what? Actions. We went from knowledge to what? Actions. So the part 1 is knowledge, part 2 is what? Action. The question is, what kind of action? We ask Allah, IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM. We want the straight path. We want the straight path. Now what is the straight path? The straight path is the path when you have knowledge and you have action. That's the straight path. What if you're missing one of them? What if you're missing action? You only have knowledge. What do you have? Who is that? If you have knowledge but you have no action, what is the word for that in the Fatiha? No, not in the Fatiha. Al-MAGDUBI ALEJHIM has knowledge but no action. What if you have action but you have no knowledge? What is that called? DALIN. Now look at this. The surah began with knowledge. Then it went to action. Then the ayah, we ask Allah to give us the balance between knowledge and action. As-Siratal-Mustaqim. Then we ask Allah, don't make us from people who have knowledge but no action. And don't make us from people who have action but no knowledge. The whole surah is a balance between knowledge and action. Now let's go back again. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. The hamd of Allah, the praise of Allah, the relationship with Allah, all of it is actually supposed to be entirely personal. It's supposed to be personal. Hamd is an emotion. Remember that? It's an emotion. And emotions are felt individually. 1,000 people are making salat at the same time, but no two people feel the same way. Isn't that true? My emotions are my emotions, your emotions are your emotions. The first part of the surah is personal. Then we say, Iyaka na'budu, not a'budu. Iyaka na'budu. We go from personal to we worship, we enslave. We go to what? A group. A group. This entire religion is a balance between being a slave of Allah by yourself and being a slave of Allah with your community. And Fatiha is a balance between individual, personal, and collective. They're both balanced. One balance, after another, after another, after another. I'll show you another really cool balance. You can say, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. The waw is the middle letter. So on the one hand you have Iyaka na'budu, on the other hand you have Iyaka nasta'in. Now watch this. Alhamdulillah is enough reason to become Allah's slave. When somebody realizes Alhamdulillah, they want to become Allah's slave. When they realize Allah is Rabbil Alameen, they want to become Allah's slave. When they realize Allah is Ar-Rahman, they want to become Allah's slave. When they realize He's Ar-Rahim, they become Allah's slave. When they realize He's Maliki Yawmiddin, they become Allah's slave. So when we say Iyaka na'budu, it is the conclusion of the first part. The conclusion of part 1 is Iyaka na'budu. If you truly understand Allah, what will come out of your mouth? Iyaka na'budu. The last part begins with, we seek your help. What's the ultimate help? Allah's guidance. So the introduction to the part 2 is Iyaka nasta'in. We ask Allah's help, and then the first help we ask is His guidance, and we elaborate what that help is going to look like. And the chapter, the heading of that is, we're asking your help, and here's how we're asking. IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM. In other words, the conclusion to the first part is in the first part of the middle ayah. And the introduction to the last part is in the latter half of the middle ayah. It is perfectly balanced. It's perfectly balanced. And I tell you, the entire Quran is perfectly balanced. The entire Quran. Last surah of the Quran, what is it? In the Mus'haf. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِي رَبِّ النَّاسِ. Here you have Rabbil Alameen, there you have Rabb al-Nas. Here you have Malik al-Nas. Here you have what? Maliki Yawmiddin. There you have Ilahin-Nas. Ilah is someone you worship. Here you have Iyaka na'budu. Here you have غَيْرِ الْمَغْدُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا-الضَّالِّينَ. Are these individuals or entire nations? Al-Maghdub alayhim wala-ddallin. They are entire nations. So we are asking for protection from social fitna. Fitna of groups, fitna of nations. In Surah Al-Nas we say من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. The individual evil. There's social evil in Fatiha. We ask Allah to protect us from it. And there is individual evil of the waswasa of shaitan that comes to each of you individually. It is not a cultural attack. It's not an economic attack. It's not a social attack. It's an individual attack. The collective is in the Fatiha. The individual is in Surah Al-Nas. Amazing. The entire Quran is balanced. The entire Quran is balanced. One last thing, I promise. I promise. We asked Allah Azza wa Jalla, and this is maybe one of the most important lessons for the Muslim world in particular. I wish we paid more attention to the Quran. I really do. Rasul ﷺ says that you can think of al-Maghdub alayhim as who? Who can be the al-Maghdub alayhim? The Jews. And who are going to be the Dhalin? The Christians. So maybe you have a Jewish neighbor, or you have a Christian neighbor. And you say, hey, my Dhalin friend over there, he was saying hello the other day. You know, my professor Maghdub alayhim, he's, you know. Let me tell you something. If Allah wanted to say, Ya Allah, guide me to the straight path and don't make me Jewish and don't make me Christian, then He would have said that. Then He would have said that. He didn't say that. What did He say? Al-Maghdub alayhim and Al-Dhalin. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam explained what Allah said. But how do you understand the explanation is the problem. I told you that Al-Maghdubi alayhim is when you have one thing and one thing is missing. What do you have and what is missing? Do you remember? You have knowledge but action is missing. What does Allah tell us about Jews in the Quran? They had a lot of knowledge but action was missing. What does Allah tell us about Christians in the Quran? They had a lot of worship and actions but they had no what? Even basic knowledge. They didn't have the knowledge. Rasulullah ﷺ is giving us what you can call a case study. If you want to understand al-Maghdub alayhim, look at the example of who in the Quran? The Jews. If you want to look at a case study of al-Dhalin, look at the example of Christians where? In the Quran. Allah is not talking about the Jew and the Christian right now. He's talking about the Jews and Christians mentioned in the Quran, because Allah specifically talks about how they had knowledge and they didn't act. Or they had no knowledge and they acted without knowledge. In other words, this is a case study. This is not about all Jews and all Christians, because there are many Jews who became Muslim. There are many Christians who become Muslim even today. They are not considered al-Dhalin, you understand? We oversimplify this matter and judge people based on it. It's incorrect. And by the way, Allah made it open and He asked me, He told me, He taught me and you to ask Allah, Ya Allah, I don't want to become al-Maghdub alayhim. I don't want to become al-Dhalin. None of us can convert to Judaism anyway. Even if you wanted to, they don't let you. You have to pay a very high fee. Well, you can't convert, most of us, there's efforts being made to convert Muslims to Christianity, and may Allah protect the Islam of the Muslims everywhere. But, seriously, Tawheed is too powerful. You have to do a lot of circus tricks to get to Christianity. It's not a real threat, you understand? The only time Christianity becomes a threat is when the Muslims are ignorant. When the Muslims know their deen, it's not a threat. But then why am I asking Allah to not make me from Maghdub alayhim wa al-Dhalin? I'm asking, and why did Allah give me so many examples of Jews and Christians in the Quran? Why did He give me those examples? He gave me those examples so I can learn. I better not have knowledge and still know action. And I better not care about knowledge and do whatever I want. Because if I don't care about knowledge and do whatever I want, I am from the Dhalin. And if I have knowledge and I don't act on it, I'm from Maghdub alayhim. I don't want to be from those people. I don't want to be like al-Yahud wal-Nasara that are mentioned in the Quran. If we were not in that danger, we wouldn't be asking Allah to protect us from it. So when you think of al-Maghdub alayhim and al-Dhalin, don't think of Jews and Christians first. Think of who first? Ourselves. And don't think of the Jews and the Christians, rather think of the example of the Jews and the Christians as mentioned in the Quran. What does Allah say about the Jews? What does Allah say about the Christians? And am I doing the same thing? When the Jews are asking, what color cow? Fat or skinny? Young or old? What kind of cow? Should we get organic or where do you want us to get it? Where do you want to get it from? And when we start asking these kinds of questions about our deen, and we disobey Allah in big things, we have no problem with riba, we have no problem with alcohol, we have no problem with cheating and stealing and bribes, no problem. But we have lots of questions about 8 Taraweeh or 20 Taraweeh. And there's a problem. Then this is just like Lawnul Baqar. This is just like that. You're asking the wrong questions. There's a bigger problem to solve. There's disobedience to Allah being done in big things, and you're worried about things that, they're either way you're okay. Either way you're not in trouble. So we have to seriously ask Allah, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Now I shared all of this with you because wallahi I feel personally, and by the way the volunteers, you can start passing out those cards inshallah. I feel personally, Fatiha is one of the most beautiful expressions of wonder in the Quran. I didn't even share with you the other kinds of balance that are inside the Fatiha. Like the balance between human beings. The balance between human beings. If you let human beings judge, if you let men and women judge, if you make a woman the judge for all the cases, divorce cases, who is she going to favor? Women. If you make a man the judge for all the divorce cases, who's he going to favor? Men. Especially if he had a divorce. Forget it. That woman's going to jail or something. If you let the government decide everything, the people will suffer. If you let the people decide everything, the government will suffer. There'll be chaos. If you let the boss decide everything, the employee will suffer. If you let the employee decide everything, the boss will suffer. Isn't that true? Human beings also always have conflict. And there's no one party that can say, I am equally favoring you and I'm equally favoring you. You can't do it. You can't find it. Because at the end of the day, a human being will either be a man or a woman. Which means he can only think like a man or only think like a woman. A representative in the court will either represent the government or represent the people. You can't be both. You can either represent the owner, the boss, or you can represent the employee. You can't be both. Allah says, we say to Allah, IHDINAS-SIRATAL-MUSTEKIM, because this is the only path that Allah gives. Because Allah is the owner of the man and the woman, the boss and the employee, the government and the people, the only one who can truly give justice. The surah is about finding justice on this earth. SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. So my intention, inshallah ta'ala, is to share just what makes the Quran beautiful. This is what makes it beautiful and what makes it relevant to my life and yours. Hopefully after tonight, the way you read Fatiha is different. The way you understand Rabbil Alameen is different. The way you understand Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim is different. I try not to give you, even though I get technical sometimes, my attempt is to not make things too technical. My attempt is to try to simplify things so it can be a practical relationship with the Quran. This is a practical relationship every Muslim needs. And those of you that are Tulabul Ilm and you want to study more advanced things, congratulations to you. But for the rest of us, for most of us, we need something simple, straightforward, that we can benefit from immediately. That is my intention. And as part of that intention, what I've tried to do, some of you know about it already, I did a video explanation of the entire Quran. It's called Cover to Cover. I did the whole thing. Alhamdulillah, it's done. And it is posted on Bayyina.tv. And I would like, before Ramadan begins, for each of you to subscribe to Bayyina.tv. Now there's two ways you can subscribe. If you can afford to do so, you can purchase a subscription. If you cannot afford to do so, you can get it for free. It's fine. I don't care. Just get it. If you can't afford it, just go Bayyina.tv, click on gift, and get it. Why am I asking you to get it? Because I'm doing all this hard work. Because I know in my family, we didn't have an easy explanation of the Quran. And when I tried to read a tafsir, and when my father tried to read it, and my sister tried to read it, it was difficult to understand. It's difficult. We need something that's easy to understand. Practical. How do I benefit from this? How is this helping me? That's the attempt. It's not perfect. No effort from human beings will be perfect. But at least it's hope that you can begin to build a relationship with the Quran. I don't want you to listen to the whole thing, by the way. It's 300 something hours. It's very long. But if you listen like 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, just night before you go to sleep, listen to something from the Quran. Over time, أَوَّلُ الْغَيْثِ قَطَرْ ثُمَّ يَنْهَمِرْ. The first of the rain is just a drop, then it pours, it floods. Knowledge will build. Your relationship with the Quran will build. Let's make this Ramadan not only about reciting the Quran. This way, inshallah, you can make this Ramadan about understanding the Quran too. Living the Quran a little bit too. Developing a little bit more of a relationship with the Quran too.